Okay, let's read from the Bible, Exodus chapter 4, verses 27 and 28. And what you're seeing on the screen right now is the path that was taken during Exodus as discovered by Ron Wyatt. And here's the land of Ramses, where the rich Nile Delta meets the Mediterranean Sea. And as they left, they went up around what's now the Gulf of Suez, just past that tip of the finger, and then dropped down and went into the Red Sea wilderness. And the Gulf of Aqaba used to be called the Red Sea. And they came down to this giant beach here. And if you look at the depth analysis of this body of water, right where they crossed is the most shallow, and it's the only sandy bottom. It's a flat, shallow, sandy bottom that's a couple miles across or so, and on the order of 1,000 plus 900, 800 feet deep. But then north and south of it, it's on the order of a mile deep. So there's a lot of water. So what I'm picturing God doing is lowering the water to the point, in the movie, you see this giant wall of water. And we're going to read this later. I'm actually not sure if I'll be proved completely wrong later, but how I'm picturing it, you could just lower this water in this body of water by about 1,000 feet, so that this beach is exposed. It's a crossing that's just sand, and it's flat, and it goes all the way across. And if you just lowered the water, it would be exposed. And it's long enough that you could get two large groups of people in there, one following the other. And when the last of the first group gets to the end, the second group would be right about in the middle. The last of them might be just getting into the area, because they're the guys with the gold wheels on their chariot. They're not fighting. They're afraid of even getting in harm's way. So now that they've seen two groups of people and the water hasn't been up there for a while, they feel safe enough to go drowned when the water comes back. And once that starts happening, you could be nowhere to turn. You can't go forward, you can't go back. If you're a warrior, you're covered in metal, you've got armor, you've got a lot of heavy stuff. And a lot of those guys may not have been seafaring men. They don't know the water, and they don't know how to survive. Anyway, I'll go from there to a little bit more from revealing God's treasure.
Mount Sinai. At age 40, Moses killed the Egyptian and was forced to flee for his life. Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God.
And we've looked at that. I'll go forward in the next one more than this, but for now, let's go ahead and read verses 27 and 28, chapter 4 of Exodus, starting with the John Wycliffe version. For so hath the Lord said to Aaron, Go thou into the coming of Moses into the desert, which ye ain't Moses into the hill of God, and kissed him. And Moses told to Aaron all the words of the Lord which he had sent Moses, and he told the miracles which the Lord had commanded. And now, King James. And the Lord said to Aaron, Go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went, and he met him in the mount of God, and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. So ends the reading.